I'm trying to figure out a way how I want to start this show because I'm kind of mad right now. Yesterday, West Virginia had a bunch of hope, and my cat is acting crazy again. Anyways, as far as getting rid of Neal Brown, hoping that we can go out and grab Hugh Freeze, and then today, man, a kick in the rear end. First, we find out that Hugh Freeze was offered an extension at Liberty, a bump in pay, guaranteed money, 8 years extension on his contract. And then I'm hearing that Shayne Lyons is still backing Neal Brown. I don't get this, guys. I'm so mad as a West Virginia fan right now. I'm so sick of the product that I'm seeing out there on the field. And I'm going to do my job tomorrow, though, guys. Okay? I'm going to do my job. I'm a West Virginia fan, so I'll live stream the game. It's a noon kickoff, so at least we get it done, earlier. But that's my job. I'm going to do it. So at least you'll get to watch the misery with me. But if we don't move on from Neal Brown, then there's no hope. Like, what's the point in even supporting the team? Does he not realize that the longer he keeps him, the more ticket sales he's going to lose? It's like he's a bonehead. I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. I really don't. First off, it was the horrible extension because we went 6-4. The only reason we went 6-4 in 2020 is because we finished 5-4, one game above 500, and then we beat Army in the Liberty Bowl. Woohoo! 6-4. That deserves an extension, a bump in pay, and a massive buyout. It's annoying. And like I said in my video earlier, I started this channel right before the 2019 season. Perfect timing, right? Perfect timing. And the entire reason why I started this channel was because on YouTube, there's a bunch of channels on different teams. Miami, I saw, was represented well. Georgia represented really well. Oklahoma, USC, just a bunch of teams that are represented pretty good. West Virginia was not represented. I didn't see one channel above 1,000 subscribers. So the entire reason why I started this YouTube channel was to gain an audience for West Virginia, to shed some light on West Virginia, to give West Virginia a voice. And now, 3 years later, Golden Bluted is over 11,000 subscribers, the number one West Virginia fan base YouTube channel out there. Kuz's Corner has over 3,000 subscribers. The Country Roads webcast has over 1,000. And there's a few others that are over 1,000. So it seems like it's working, but at the same time, right when we give West Virginia a voice, right when we put a spotlight on West Virginia, we suck. That's the nicest way I can put it. We suck badly. It's horrible. It's just so annoying. And it's one thing if it's bad, but the leadership is going to clean house. All right, this is bad. We're done. Get them out of here. Let's move forward. That's not what's going on, apparently. Apparently, Shayne Lyons has dug his heels into the dirt and does not want to admit that he was wrong. This is stubbornness at the highest degree. What we're witnessing is stubbornness at the highest degree. Anyways, welcome to Golden Bluted, everybody. This is a college football YouTube channel. I'm a West Virginia fan, but I talk about all of college football. I do admit I have been talking about West Virginia a little bit more recently because of the whole Neal Brown fiasco. The Clowntaineer was born. Just a bunch of bad stuff. Not the best reasons to talk about West Virginia more, but nevertheless, I have been talking about West Virginia more. But I'm an overall college football YouTube channel. So if that's something you're interested in, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button if you're not already. We do videos every single day. We do not miss a day. And right now, I can't guarantee this for the foreseeable future, but the schedule we've laid out, we're actually able to do live shows every day as well. So, yeah, college football fans, this is a home for you, especially if you're, and I'm not like bashing anybody or trash talking anybody like this, because I'm the same way. We like to watch other people's misery. It's not that we're rooting for it, but it's almost like, watching a disaster. It's terrible, it's horrible, but you just can't keep your eyes off of it. And that's what West Virginia is right now. It's a disaster, and it's actually gaining some eyeballs for all the wrong reasons. And tomorrow we do get number 7 TCU in Morgantown. They are undefeated, and this is going to sound crazy the way I word this, but unfortunately, I do think there's a small chance West Virginia can upset them. I actually don't want West Virginia to upset them. I don't want there to be any reason to keep Neal Brown. Not at all. So I don't want it to happen. I'm going to be live streaming it, but it's the first time ever that I wouldn't be super bummed if we lost. I would be 100% okay. But I looked into the matchup, and yeah, there are some things that I saw that West Virginia could take advantage. The first thing is TCU does have some good wins. That's a fact. But if you look at their last 2 wins, they were down in the fourth quarter, 30-16 to Oklahoma State, and Mike Gundy decided to start playing safe play calls, and it came back to bite him. TCU came back, tied it, sent it overtime, and won that game. And then the last game, Kansas State, who I don't think is as good as Oklahoma State, they got down to Kansas State 28-3, came back and beat them. So I went and looked at the statistics, and TCU does not have a good defense. They have stretches to where they play well, but overall, they're only about 20 spots ahead of West Virginia whenever it comes to defense. Now, their offense is much better. They average over 40 yards a game. That could be the biggest difference. But they have a defense to where West Virginia can take advantage, and West Virginia does play differently in Morgantown. And if you notice, whenever the spread came out, it was TCU was favored by 7.5. I think it's bumped up to 8 or 8.5, something like that. But there's a reason for that. It's not, honestly, I was expecting TCU to come out favored by 14. But, then I did my research and looked at the matchups. It actually kind of does make sense. I don't expect West Virginia to upset TCU. I actually hope they don't. I'm being honest. For real. I hope they don't. But there are some matchups in this game to where they could take advantage, and it wouldn't even be that big of an upset. How crazy is that? Undefeated TCU, terrible West Virginia, and if West Virginia wins, it's not that big of an upset. I don't know. So we're going to pivot on this. Joey, come on in. I kind of set Joey up on this one. The whole reason I started talking about, the line and all that stuff is because we have something interesting going on with BetUS, and I'm going to let Joey explain what's going on.
Well, now what I'm wanting to do is I was thinking it would be kind of fun. Now, this is just for fun. This is not for any money for you guys or anything. But if you wanted to, like, super chat and say, hey, let's do or if I say let's do a crazy parlay card, okay? Let me just share the screen with you, and so I can tell you what I'm talking about doing here. I'll just share the screen with you what we're doing. So this is my BetUS account. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Let me just make it.
Yeah, it's on the screen.
Full screen for you.
There you go.
I'll make it full screen for you there. So this is my BetUS account. So what I was thinking is we could just go and say, okay, I'll make a parlay card for you guys, and I'll place a $20 bet on it and see how we do. We come back tomorrow, or Sunday, whenever, find out how we do on it. If anybody wants to pick a team for the parlay card, just super chat it in. Whatever you got a super chat to be able to type in words, which is usually generally like $1.99, I believe. Type in and say who you think I should put on that card. So if you want to say, hey, the Illinois-Nebraska game, put Nebraska plus 7.5. Or put Nebraska straight up to win it. Add them to the parlay card. And then I'll do it. I'll add them to the parlay card, and we'll wait for another super chat to see who else to add to it. And when we get 4 or 5 teams, we'll add it to a parlay card. I'll put a $20 wager on it, and we'll come back and see how we done. I mean, I just think it would be a little bit different, a little bit fun. Just something for the chat to get involved with, and it's something to do. There's nothing else going on in the college football world right now. It needs something to do. So it might be fun.
And there's a link that Joey's going to drop in the chat as well.
Yeah, actually, Nightbot's going to drop it.
Okay.
I can't drop it right now, but Nightbot's got it in there, and she'll be dropping the link to show you the Bet US. Now, here's a bet that I done a while ago. Is it up? Let me stop sharing that screen, and I'll share another screen with you. I done this bet a while ago because this is my lock of the week. Everybody always knows I do a lock of the week, my guaranteed lock of the week. So here is my guaranteed lock of the week. Let me find it right here. This is my guaranteed lock of the week. I took straight up $100 bet on Kentucky to win straight up. $350 if it happens. So that's my lock of the week. Did it share it? It didn't share it, did it?
No.
Let me share.
I like that. I like that one too because that actually points to what I was talking about in the video I did earlier. Some of the upsets that I'm keeping an eye on. I really am keeping an eye on that Kentucky-Tennessee matchup. Tennessee's favored by 12. I know it's at Tennessee, but there's a lot of factors that go into the game that actually allow Tennessee to possibly Kentucky to pull the upset. Number one, there's a showdown against Georgia next week looming for Tennessee. So this could be a trap game for Tennessee. Number two, their running back, Chris Rodriguez for Kentucky, he's going to be back full strength. And the offense is 10 times better with Chris Rodriguez than without. And I know a lot of people like to point to the fact that Kentucky lost to South Carolina. Well, Kentucky also didn't have their starting quarterback for that game either. They have their starting quarterback. They have their starting running back. Georgia could be looking ahead, or not Georgia, excuse me. Tennessee could be looking ahead to Georgia. And the style of play that both of these teams have, number one, Kentucky likes to slow it down, limit possessions, move the chains, and run the ball a lot. And Tennessee is the exact opposite. They go at breakneck speed. They're actually number one in the nation in scoring. They score over 50 points a game. Problem is they don't have a good defense. So if Kentucky can take advantage of that defense, run the ball all over them, slow the game down, limit possessions, I actually think Kentucky has a legitimate shot of upsetting Tennessee. I really do.
So this was the bet. So to show everybody that I placed the bet for Kentucky to straight up upset. Now, will that happen?
What's the payout on the money line?
$350 for the $100. It's for payout $350.
So, man, that's over doubling your money.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
It's a good wager.
So
it's a good wager.
I think that's a 3:30 kickoff, if I'm not mistaken. What kickoff is that?
3:30.
3:30. All right, so that'll be coming on right as we're going off on the live show. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. That's pretty cool. And then
wait a minute, that's a 7 o'clock one. That's a 7 o'clock one.
That's the night game. Okay.
All
right. So that'll be ahead of us. All right, I got you. And so keep an eye out for the link in the chat as well, because Nightbot will be dropping the link sporadically. So you can go on there and create your own account, make your own bets. Don't take our advice to the bank. What we do is for entertainment purposes only. Okay. We do not guarantee any picks or anything like that. This is for entertainment purposes only. So you can start your own account and make your own bets off your own recognizance. Whatever you think happens or will happen, that's the way to go. But yeah, I
Right.
think that's pretty cool, and it could be fun.
Yeah, I think it could be. I'd like to see, some people. I mean, I know we always have people that super chat. Just when you super chat, just throw in a team, and like I say, I'll throw a $20 bet on a nice parlay card for us. Let's see how we do. Just out of curiosity, how do we do it? And
Right.
you know, regardless, I'm going to pick a parlay card, and I always pick a crazy one. So I'm going to pick a parlay
Right. Hey,
card. If you guys want to
the
pitch in on
crazier,
it,
the
might
more
as well.
entertaining.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I've won on some crazy
No,
ones.
I did not get to see the West Virginia basketball game tonight. I didn't even know they played tonight. When does that? That has to be an exhibition game, right? Because the season doesn't start till. Or wait, was that first game of the season? What? It is late
Yeah.
October, so I mean it's close, but I didn't think it was that close. Hold on, let me check that real quick, guys. Let's see. Let's go to basketball, right?
Hey,
Yeah.
there's a
Let me
link.
go.
There's a link that'll get you. Um,
Scores and yeah, it's saying the actual season starts November 7th, so we're about a week away. So it's a exhibition game. But man, only hey, there's something to look forward to if you're a West Virginia fan. We're only about a week away from tip off from a lot of these games. What you know what? Hold on. Let me see something here. So West Virginia will take on Mount St. Mary's. That's actually not a gimme game. That's Mount St. Mary's has actually been a decent team in their respective league. I forget what conference they're in. I want to see the rankings real quick. I might need to do a video before the season actually comes out. All right, so the rankings for basketball. We'll get back to football. I promise. I promise. But for basketball, the number one team coming out in basketball is actually North Carolina. Number 2 is Gonzaga. Number 3 is Houston. Number 4 is Kentucky. Number 5 is Kansas. There is no number 6 team. Go figure. There's a tie. And Baylor and Kansas are tied for the number 5 team in the nation in basketball. How about that? Number 7 is Duke. Number 8, UCLA. Number 9, Creighton. Number 10, Arkansas. That's a classic top 10 if you ask me. I'm seeing a lot of blue bloods in the top 10. That's the first time I've seen that in a very long time. But let's keep going real quick. Number 11 is going to be Tennessee. 12 is Texas. 13 is Indiana. 14 is TCU. They're on the rise in basketball. 15 Auburn. 16 Villanova. 17 Arizona. 18 Virginia. They've fallen off a little bit. 19 is San Diego State. 20 Alabama. 21 Oregon. 22 Michigan. 23 Illinois. 24 Dayton. And 25 Texas Tech. I really like the top 10, though, because you have North Carolina, Gonzaga, Kentucky, Kansas, Baylor, Duke, UCLA. All those are blue bloods. I'm really liking that one. I want to see real quick before we switch back to football. Patience, guys. I'm coming back. I just wanted to see how many teams because I didn't feel like counting off the top of my head. They're out of the Big 12. They're to start the season. 5 out of the 10 teams are ranked. That is 50% of the league. Wow. That's how tough the Big 12 is in basketball. So hopefully all those new faces at West Virginia can handle the Big 12 grind because it looks like it's going to be a grind again. Quick reminder to anybody that hasn't. Y'all are pretty good at this, but I like to remind y'all, if you haven't, please hit the like button. Even if you don't like me or West Virginia or even football, it helps the video. The more likes we get, the more it hits the YouTube algorithm. It gets suggested more people see it, and that's how you grow your audience. You're not just helping me, you're also helping yourself. And if you have a question that you want to ask me or you have a comment or anything like that, and it's a great way to support the show, hit the super chat button. It's that little dollar sign that you see on the bottom right-hand corner. Anything that you put in the super chat, I will throw it on the screen just like you see where my name is. If there's a question, I'll read it and answer it to the best of my ability. If it's a comment, I'll address it. And yes, even if you are making fun of me, because right now it is open season on West Virginia and Gold and Blued, but even if you're making fun of me, we appreciate you supporting the channel so much that we will still read it. That's just how we roll. It's a great way to support the channel. How are you feeling about tomorrow's game? I honestly, this is going to sound the most unfan like thing to say. I
Don't
don't give
say
a
it
crap.
again.
I don't give a crap. I really don't. I don't give a crap.
Oh man.
Is that bad?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm always going to support Mountaineers, and I hope they win. I really do. I think Neal Brown's job is over, even if he runs the table. I really do. I
Man, I
think.
hope you're right, dude. But I'm telling you, from what I'm hearing, Shayne Lyons is not backing off of Neal Brown. Hopefully, we can go above him and fire him. But I'm also
Yeah.
hearing that Gordon Gee is supporting Shayne Lyons. Do we need to go above his? Like, how high do we have to go to clean house? I'm so
Well,
confused, man.
I don't. I don't know. I don't see Gordon Gee getting fired. That's for sure. But I do. I do think that it's going to that Shayne Lyons just has no choice. I think it'll be too much pressure on him. I think Neal Brown's gone.
I think this is going to
And
come down to boosters because there is no way that Gordon Gee has that much ultimate power, and it's going to come down to, the board and the vote, and the boosters are going to have a lot to say. They're if you keep him, we're pulling our money out. So hopefully it comes to a vote and they vote him out, and then Neal Brown's gone. Honestly, we heard Neal Brown say a while back that if things aren't working out, that he was going to step down and resign. He's supposed to be this, character guy, outstanding guy. So is he a man of his word?
well,
That's
he
another
said
thing.
he said if I feel like that I can't do anything here or something like that. That if he feels like that there's no progression in the program, that he'll step
Well,
down. Right? Is that
yeah,
what he said? Something like that. I mean, it's the same
yeah,
thing, but you know, yeah, he's supposedly a man of his word. So let's see what he does. Maybe if he can't win but one more game the rest of the year, maybe he steps down himself and saves us all a heartache and money.
yeah. I mean, I
You know,
guarantee you he'll be able to find a job somewhere else. So it's not like he's gonna all of a sudden be homeless.
right?
And I mean, he's already made a crap ton of money anyways. He's gonna live, the rest of his life well off. And I think he'll be able to get another
What do
job
you think about
easily,
this?
even if it's a coaching job at the Group of 5 level. He's going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, at minimum. So he's going to be all right. So this is going to come down to character and see if he actually backs up what he said.
South of the Earth says they just need to go to him and tell Neal Brown GBD wants you gone, and you'll be gone.
Let's make it happen, man. Let's make some noise. Hey, well, the past 3 or 4 days I have been making noise, so hopefully somebody's. Hey, this guy over here. I'm telling you, man, he's put pressure on us. Have you heard of
you
this
know,
Golden Blue guy? I mean, he's getting a bunch of West Virginia fans riled up. Might want to, think about making the right choice here.
yeah, there's not a lot of support for Neal Brown right now. I mean, there is support for him, but there's not a lot of it. I will admit that. Hey, what do you think about this East Carolina BYU game going on right now? It's
Yeah, I saw it was tied at
24.
halftime. BYU started off really, really hot, and I thought they were going to do what they always do, and that's lose talent but still have a 10-win season. But it looks like the past 3 years of losing their best, which I'm not saying BYU is going down the toilet. I'm just saying I expected rebuild mode 2 years ago. Well, it looks like it's finally caught
Yeah.
up to BYU, and they're in rebuild mode this year. So I'm not really surprised. I picked East Carolina to be one of the better teams in the AAC. I still think that. I think East Carolina's going to get to a good bowl. So the fact that it's on the road, maybe that's a little surprising that East Carolina can go on the road and beat BYU. But overall, I'm not that surprised.
Let's go in.
All right, let me check the score on that real quick. You have it
24-24.
24-24, and I'm assuming we're in the third quarter still, or are we in the fourth?
Yeah, third
Quarter. So, yeah. Well, that third quarter just ended, so we're actually going into the fourth quarter. BYU does have the ball down on the East Carolina 20-yard line, 3rd and 10. So even if they don't get this first down, they can kick a field goal and go at 27-24. The line Let's see if the line is surprising. Nope. Pretty much what I expected. BYU was favored by 3. That's what I was expecting. I knew it was going to be a close game. And I
I'm
still
gonna put
think
you
East
on the
Carolina
spot.
can win the game.
I'm gonna put you on the spot, okay, for a second. I want you. Let me go into the sports book here and get football and NCAA football. Let's put you on the spot. Let's come back either Sunday or Monday and address how you done. Do a parlay, and I'll throw $10 on it, and you
All
get to
right. How
pick the
many?
teams, and you get to pick.
How many do you want me to pick?
What do you think? 14 parlay? Can you do a 14?
You need to put up full screen. I can't see.
Okay. Let me put this full screen for you.
All right.
Can you see it there now?
Yeah.
So
Sorta.
you can tell me to go up or down here. Tell me to scroll up or down.
I'll definitely take Nebraska and the points. I think they have a chance to straight up upset Illinois.
Okay.
But I'll take
so
Nebraska
we'll take
and
them
the
to
points.
7.5. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Next game.
Yeah. Keep going. Boston College, no thanks. New Mexico State, no thanks. Keep going. Keep going. Kentucky. I'll take Kentucky with the points too.
Okay.
We'll go 5. How about that? We'll go 5. What's the point spread on the Georgia Tech Florida State game?
Let me find it here. Let's see. Where are they at?
Well, I just saw it a second ago. Go back up.
You did? There's Georgia,
Yeah.
Florida.
Yep. Keep going. Keep going. I saw it right because that was the reason why I said something, because I saw it on the screen. It was on there somewhere. I swear.
You'll find it. Georgia Tech and Florida State. 22.5.
22.5. I'll take the Jackets in 22.5 for sure.
All right,
I think Georgia Tech could pull a stunner and beat them on the road. I really do.
All right.
How many is that? 3?
One more. Yeah. How about
I'm going to take Notre Dame over. I'm going to take Notre Dame over Syracuse.
Notre Dame over Syracuse. Let me find that game.
Yeah. And then let me look at one more. I'll just look on my phone real quick because I can't really see on the screen.
Okay.
And I'm going to take Penn State and the points for sure.
Penn State and the points. So you must 15.5 points. All right.
Yep.
So I'll go up here. Let's see what you can win. I'll risk. I'll put $10 on it there for you. That's not gonna work. Hold on. I didn't change it to a parlay. Change it to a parlay. All right. So now $10 to win 244.61.
That'll work.
It'll work, man.
Yep.
All right.
Actually, you know what? See what happens when you take Penn State straight up. Screw the points. Give me Penn State.
All right. I'll give you a separate one for that one.
No, put them on the money line. Put them on the money line.
Well, let me cancel I'd have to cancel the bet and start over. Just let me confirm this one. It's all right.
Okay.
I'll just confirm that one.
Yeah.
And then I'll go back.
We can do one later. Don't worry about it. We can do one later.
So you're going to take Penn State straight up, you say?
Straight up. Yep. Do you know why people say that Penn State has no chance against Ohio State? What's the one reason why they're saying that? One reason. What pops in your head?
Nothing really. I think Penn State's a good team, and Ohio State's.
But there's one glaring excuse that they use as to why it's not going to happen. I mean, and it just happened a few weeks ago.
What's that?
Michigan whooped them in the Big House.
Oh yeah.
That's like the thing that really pops out to everybody, and that's why they think that Penn State has no shot of beating Ohio State. Well, if
All
you
right, I'm
look
throwing
at
you
number one,
$10
look at
on
Ohio
straight up.
State's schedule, and they really haven't been tested. And I'm not trying to play the who have they played card. I'm just saying they haven't been tested. And if you look at Penn State's schedule, they have been tested. Some very, very tough road games. And yes, they went on the road and got absolutely manhandled by Michigan. But that was it. All the other games, they've passed the test. They've looked pretty good, actually. Everybody's healthy. It's in Happy Valley. I think it's going to be a whiteout. And 15.5 points. I'm actually shocked that it's that high, but I think even Vegas is looking at, how they got blown out by Michigan. Penn State just beat a good Minnesota team convincingly. So I think they can grab a close, maybe it takes a last-second field goal or a last-second touchdown to pull off the win. I think Penn State can do it. I really do. I'm still buying Penn State. I'm not – that one blowout loss to Michigan didn't really shake my faith in them. I mean, I was a little shocked when it happened. But if you look at at what they've done overall, they're a good team. And I think James Franklin is a good coach still.
Well, and the same thing with Tennessee. What's the one reason everybody says Tennessee's going to beat Kentucky? Because Tennessee beat Alabama.
Barely beat Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't buy that. That's why I'm picking Kentucky as my upset lock of the week.
Yep.
I mean, I think, but now I placed that bet, and you've got it'll be $45 if you win. $10. I placed $10 on straight up Penn State for you.
All right, that'll work.
See how it
that
does.
will work. Yeah,
I'm gonna get out of here. Let you do
okay,
your show.
bud. Sounds good.
Talk at you later.
All right. Well, for all the reasons that I said in the video, I think Kentucky does have a good shot. I know it's on the road to Tennessee, but Tennessee has a big showdown with Georgia. This could be a trap game. They can be looking forward to that. And the style of offense that Kentucky plays could seriously wear down the Tennessee defense. And Tennessee doesn't have a good defense. Kentucky has a top 10 defense. A lot of people don't know that. They have a top 10 defense as far as points allowed. So, yeah, I absolutely think that Kentucky has a shot. I put no stock into the fact that they lost to South Carolina because they didn't have their starting quarterback. I actually missed that whenever I looked at that game. I predicted Kentucky to beat South Carolina, but I didn't realize that Kentucky didn't have their starting quarterback. So that was my fault for not knowing the quarterback situation. This game's going to be different. I think Kentucky will be able to run the ball effectively, and we might go from seeing a crazy, crazy scene at Neyland Stadium to where they're having to replace goalposts and it's floating down the river and 20,000 fans are on the field celebrating and they get fined $250,000 to a stunned Neyland Stadium wondering what the heck just happened. Kentucky just came in our house and upset us. That's the beauty of college football. You don't know what you're going to get week to week. You don't know. You don't know. So I would like to see it. I think it can happen. Same thing with Penn State, Ohio State. A lot of people are high on Ohio State, and I do think Ohio State's a good team. That's not what I'm saying. C.J. Stroud is one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in the nation. The defense is much better. Knowles has done miracles over there at Ohio State. But, you go on the road in a hostile environment for the first time, and it's in late October, haven't really been tested previously, and you get rattled, it can get out of hand. I don't think it's going to get out of hand, but I think Penn State has a chance to upset Ohio State. And if that happens, those two upsets, you talk about playoff chaos and it happening right before the first, well, I think it's not this week, but the next week it comes out. But still, playoff chaos happening right before the first playoff rankings come out, man, you gotta love college football. That would be awesome. That would be absolutely awesome. I'm pulling for that. But for our situation, West Virginia situation, we have a bunch of clowns up there. I don't know if there's any hope for us. I really don't. We heard that Hugh Freeze was extended with guaranteed money, 8 seasons. So it looks like we missed out on him. And then I'm hearing that Shayne Lyons is still supporting Neal Brown. It's like, it can't get any worse, can it? I mean, even if we lose 5 in a row, it's still not any worse. Kind of like, okay, now we're kind of expecting it. If you had told us that at the beginning of the season, might be a shocker, but at this point in time, right now, it wouldn't surprise me. Not at all. And I'm just sick of it. I'm fed up with it. And to be honest with you, I thought about this earlier today. I'm not making any promises, okay? I'm not making any promises. I'm not making any promises, but I've thought about this. If West Virginia finishes less than 7-5, I mean that is the threshold. Honestly, for me it's 8-4, but that means 5 straight wins. But if West Virginia finishes 7-5 and we retain Neal Brown, I will be so mad that not only will I do a Clowntonier episode on it, I will go out and I will search for somebody that has the same type of stature as I do. I will pay them money and I will try to produce a twin Clowntonier show. That's how mad I'll be. I can't make any promises, but I react emotionally, so I can definitely see this happening. If West Virginia has a losing season and we keep Neal Clown, I am going to go on a search and I'm going to look for somebody that has the same skinny build that I have, and I'm going to pay them money and I am going to do a twin Clowntonier show. That's how mad I'll be. Jacob Yoho. Jacob Yoho, thank you for the donation. Says, I've seen so many fans selling ticks. Yeah, I mean, the fan support is absolutely not there. I'll be surprised if there's over 40,000 tomorrow. The last game, Baylor, on a Thursday night, we had like 45,000. That surprised me. That was before the blowout to TCU. If we get more than 40,000 fans in the stadium, number one, I'll be shocked. Number two, I'll be shaking my head. Why are we still supporting this clown? I know, as sad as it is to see an empty stadium, but you have to make a statement. You have to show these clowns you're not going to get away with this. Okay, you're going to keep a guy who has not only set back West Virginia, but is going to keep back West Virginia. You're going to keep him around after a bad season, even though we have talent. Your salary is not going to get paid because we're not going to support. That's the only way that you can make a statement right there. Money always talks. If you put a dent in their wallets, that's when they'll start thinking about these decisions. That's when they'll seriously start thinking about these decisions. I know it seems crazy, a West Virginia fan actually encouraging West Virginia fans, other fellow West Virginia fans, to not go to the game. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm encouraging West Virginia fans, if you have tickets to these games, sell them. Well, don't even sell. I don't. Whatever the best choice is to not make money for West Virginia, to get the point across, get rid of this guy. That's what we need to do. So I don't even know what the answer is, because I guess if you sell them, you're still making money. I don't know. I'm not thinking straight right now. I'm so mad. I'm not even thinking straight. But seriously, I don't. We have to send a message somehow.
There was something I meant to tell you a while ago and tell everybody a while ago while I was in here. So Talk with Pitt, great supporter of the show, been a friend of ours for a long time on this channel. A lot of people don't know this. I don't think anybody knows this but me. He told me about a month ago, he was at a carnival and somebody pulled out a gun and started shooting, and they shot at him, and he was ducking down. And by the time they shot, and the person right behind him got shot, is the one that got shot. So he's kind of been like on in the background. He's not been in the rooms. He's not been coming around you too much. And he told me, he asked me today if people thought that he had abandoned them, and I said, well, everybody thinks you're on a milk carton. And so he told me I could share that with you guys. So if you see Talking Spit, he's been under some trauma. It wouldn't hurt to just um, you know pick him up a little bit because he's got some PTSD from that, as you can imagine.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
the
Wow,
man I think ended up shooting 3 people, and like I
man.
said, one of them was supposed to be him, but he was ducking about the same time a guy shot, and it got somebody behind him. So
Wow. Did the guy that got
just thought
shot
I'd share
survive?
that. Yeah, he did. So
Good, good.
I
What
just wanted to come in and tell everybody
our
that I forgot
security
about
checks
that.
have got to be better in these large places, I mean, that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. So, all right, man. I
Yeah.
just
All
wanted to
right.
share it with
Well, I didn't
everybody.
know that. Thanks for sharing that, buddy. All right. So this is where interaction comes in, guys. So if you don't agree with not showing up to the games, even if you have tickets, how else do we send a message? There has to be a way, and actually, that might be a good thing that Joey, um, interrupted that because I was really going off on a tangent. There's got to be a way to show these higher ups, that what's going on isn't flying. The crazy thing is they should already be thinking that, and it's just they're so stubborn and hard headed. Shayne Lyons doesn't want to admit that he's wrong, and we're going to end up seeing mediocre football for another 3 years just because he doesn't want to admit that. So it's got to change. It has to change. I think the biggest thing would be the boosters. The boosters at West Virginia, they need to speak up. I mean, that's really what would get their attention. The big time, money donors saying, if you don't change the coach, you're not getting your donation for every month that Neal Brown is still the head coach at West Virginia. That might be one way to do it. That might be one way to do it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, and then if the fans don't show up, and I saw a comment in the chat section where that could hurt future recruiting as well, and then you're kind of punishing the players for something that's not their fault. I wasn't thinking about all that stuff as well, so yeah, I agree with that. But man, it's a very sad time, disappointing. I mean, just utter, I don't know, depression right now. It's depressing. It's depressing being a West Virginia fan right now. It's straight nonsense. I don't even know how to put it in words. I went on like 4 different rants over the past 3 days, and I still don't feel any better. And I feel bad that I don't care if West Virginia wins tomorrow night. But that's 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 where I am right now. I mean, it is what it is. And then I'm seeing people saying it's time to bench JT Daniels. Well, I don't agree with that because I don't think it's his fault. And I know he had a bad game against Texas Tech, but he got to a point to where he was starting to force balls. West Virginia actually had a chance to pull within a touchdown before halftime, but he threw an interception in the end zone. But that was just a great play by Texas Tech. I've looked at that play several times, and I think he put the ball where it needed to be, and that DB just made an incredible interception on that. So, maybe in some of these games, whenever West Virginia is blowing out somebody or is getting blown out, yes, bench him and give Nico some experience, but I wouldn't say bench him right off the bat and give somebody else a start. I do disagree with that, but um, JT, I watched him live, and he is a talented quarterback. His pocket presence is amazing. You'll see the pocket collapsing, and the one spot that he can step to keep from being sacked, that's where he steps. And he's not a mobile quarterback. He's not a scrambling quarterback. I just thought of this. Why are we trying to run an RPO type of play action when the defense knows that he's not going to run? JT's not a scrambler. He's not a mobile quarterback. But if you've noticed, some of our play action and some of our run game is based off of, an RPO look. Now, if Garrett Green's back there and you run an RPO, then yes, they have to, keep an eye on him as well. But if you're set up to look like RPO with JT Daniels, it's stupid. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And it seems like we don't even know what type of offense we want to run. So it's an RPO style offense, even though JT will never pull it and run. It's just not going to happen. So we have talent, but we're forcing players to play in spots that they're not comfortable in. And here's a good example. Back when Rich Rodriguez was the head coach at West Virginia, he ran a spread offense, run first. Pass when necessary, run first. What did he do? He went out and recruited some great running backs and a mobile quarterback. Good, talented players that fit the offense. It's one thing to have talented players. It's another thing if those talented players don't fit the offense that you're running. And that's what we're seeing at West Virginia. We're seeing talented players because we do have talent on offense. We do. I mean, we have one of the best left tackles in the nation, in the Big 12, at least, in Wyatt Millum. Bryce Ford Wheaton is ranked in the top 10 with, I think it's reception yards. I don't know which stat it is, but he's a top 10 receiver in one of those categories. Look at our running backs. C.J. Donaldson, before he got hurt, he was on fire. Mathis had a career game against Baylor. So we have talent on the offense. It's just we're running an offense where these players aren't fitting into the offense. So either recruit players that fit the offense or change the offense, because trying to fit a square peg into a round hole is not going to work. That's not how it works. West Virginia is wasting talent right now. That's what's happening. West Virginia is wasting talent, and it's really tough to see. It's very, oh my gosh, it is very, very tough to see. Very tough to see. Usually our join shows are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We didn't have a join show on Tuesday because we thought that Brad Smith was going to come on Tuesday. So I had a join show on Wednesday, and he ended up coming on Thursday. So it kind of threw off our join show. So our join shows are usually Tuesdays and Thursdays. But what I'll do is tomorrow, whenever I live stream the West Virginia game, it's a noon kickoff. I'll do a joint show then, since I shorted y'all one this week. We're already late into this one, and I'm about to wrap it up here in a little while anyways. So tomorrow, whenever I go live for the West Virginia TCU game, we will do a joint show. So how about that? Does that work, guys? Does that work? We'll do it that way. Anyways, I got pretty much everything I wanted to say off my chest. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a stuffy nose too, so I might go to bed a little bit earlier tonight. But anyways, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'll be live streaming noon kickoff, TCU at West Virginia. I do think there's a few matchups that West Virginia could take advantage of and pull the upset. And we'll see if the Clowntoneer makes another appearance tomorrow. I have a feeling that he will, but we will see. Anyways, join show, by the way, so I will drop the link tomorrow during the live show while we're streaming the West Virginia game. We'll do that. Anyways, appreciate everybody stopping by. I know tonight was a late one, later than usual, but you guys still supported the channel very well. Everybody that commented, make sure to hit the thumbs up on the way out. Still helps the video, even though we're not live anymore. Greatly appreciate that. Shout out to Jacob Yoho for the super chat. And tomorrow, noon kickoff, TCU at West Virginia. I'll probably start around either 11:45 or 11:30, something like that. But as usual, those of you who are signed up for the text alert whenever we go live, you guys will be alerted 15 to 20 minutes before. And if you're interested, just email us. If you're interested in joining the text alert for when we go live, just email Joey, and we will get that set up. But for tonight, yep, that's going to be it. So y'all have a good night. Get some sleep. we will go live around 11:45, 11:30. And yeah, I'm probably going to go to bed a little bit early. A little bit tired, guys. Y'all have a good Friday night. Be safe. Be responsible.